Hi fam, welcome back to another YouTube video. If it's your first time here, my name is Lucy Brown. Welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below and smash the notification bell so that you are notified whenever I upload a new YouTube video. If it's your first time watching this video, I really hope that you enjoy it and that you enjoy the content, and please do subscribe if you do indeed enjoy it. After you complete the single season or the single life season and phase in your life and you hop into marriage, at times there are things that you truly wish you had known. You look back and you're just like, no man, had I known this could have potentially prepared me mentally for what I'm about to enter, for the long haul journey that I'm about to take. Well, in today's video, we're going to be discussing points that I wish that I had known before I got married. Things that I just feel like, had I known these things before I had entered marriage, it would have made a ton of a difference for me. Number one, there's no amount and absolutely no amount of dating that can prepare you to know the person well enough. Like, dating is good, and it obviously helps you and prepares you to actually know what type of person you are taking the step with. But trust me, in marriage, you'll always get surprises. You might have known the person for the longest of times, but there's just things that are revealed in marriages or surprises, if I can put it in that way. There's just things that you find out about an individual in marriage that dating does not give you the privilege to know, right? At times we think dating a person long enough, dating a person for 5 years, for 3 years, or for a long time basically guarantees that you know the person 100%. Thus, us prolonging the dating stage and thinking to ourselves that I'm going to prolong the stage and make sure we date long, that by the time I get into marriage, I do not find any surprises. And that is just not true, or it was not true for me. Yes, dating affords you a chunk load of the ability to understand what this person stands for, their values, and who they are to the core. And with that, I believe that if you're happy with the core values that this person believes in and lives out, then that should be good enough reason to actually take the next step. As long as you both are actually committed to make things work, then you guys should be sorted. The rest of the things, yeah, really, like, there are surprises that you are going to find out about the individual, even about yourself, actually, coming to think about it, even about yourself that you actually didn't know, because obviously the environment and the setting is so different from when you were living a single life. Point number two, you need to have an uncapped amount of forgiveness within you. Like, this one truly caught me by surprise. I mean, we all want to say that we are forgiving people and that we forgive easily, up until you are in a space with the person where you feel like this person can oftenly offend you, or this person can oftenly do things that require your forgiveness. I mean, people aren't perfect and neither are we, but it's so important that in marriage that you have an uncapped amount of forgiveness, and not just only having an uncapped amount of forgiveness, but forgiving quickly, because it's so easy to be caught up in the face of I'm angry about this for a long time, to a point that you even forget what is it that I'm really even angry about. So you need to make sure that you have an uncapped amount of forgiveness and that you forgive quickly, because there's something about not being able to forgive quickly. Like, the whole environment becomes sour. Like, nothing becomes comfortable, nothing is nice, nothing is enjoyable when there is unforgiveness that is just lingering in the air. And if you do not guard against this, like, it can go on for such a long period of time where there's more damage that's done than you actually intended. So an uncapped amount of forgiveness, learning to forgive quickly. And this is not to say that your spouse should invalidate your feelings or be saying to you like, I apologize, like, why aren't you forgiving me? So, or get over it, or things like that. But this is to say, for you, it's just a healthy thing to do for you and your family and the environment. So for me, what I've learned to do is have a time frame in terms of my anger, or have a time frame in terms of processing whatever I felt like hurt me, or whatever requires my forgiveness. So I'll have a time frame just to make sure that I don't allow myself to prolong the anger and harbor feelings of unforgiveness inside of me, which isn't good and which isn't going to help me or my marriage or my spouse in any way. Point number 3, scheduling sex. Oh my gosh, this one hit me by surprise. I'm not even going to lie. Before I got married, I had this worldview of sex that when I eventually do get married, that I'm going to be having sex each and every single day. That each and every single day we'd both be in the mood for it. But yeah, like I was so surprised with this one, because obviously of my worldview around it. Obviously, if you are having spontaneous sex, if you and your spouse are having spontaneous sex, then I mean, this one might sound a bit bizarre for you. But like I mentioned before, I got married. I really thought that sex is something that would be available, or something that we do and practice each and every single day, or quite often. But I was surprised that no, you've actually got to be intentional about scheduling sex, especially if the both of you, or if the one party is busy, right? You've just got to create time for it. You've got to schedule it into your schedule and make sure by the time come the scheduled day, you guys are not tired, that you guys have planned for it, and that you guys can genuinely enjoy it. Like, it can be so easy to neglect this area when you guys are busy. I don't know about when you guys have kids, because I do not have kids yet. It can get easily neglected. So scheduling it just helps you guys to make this area of your lives a priority. It does play a huge role in the intimacy of a marriage, and I believe that any married couple should not neglect this area in order to ensure that you have a healthy marriage. If you are still part of the video at this point, comment down below, leave a red heart down below, just to indicate that you are still part of the video and that you are still watching. Please also make sure that you like the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you click the subscribe button down below. Point number 4, and this one is so hilarious, because till this day I see single people posting pictures about what I'm about to mention. You know those pictures where it's a couple and they are praying together, but praying in a sense that maybe the woman is bowing down on the side of the bed, and the guy is behind her and he's bowing with her, and they're praying together. Those cute pictures of prayers of people like in an like they are sort of like intimate with each other, touchy and holding one another, and yet they are praying, and it looks so cute and romantic. I remember quite clearly when I genuinely thought that's how it was gonna be for my husband and I, but wow, like no, if I could say so myself, those pictures are a scam and they aren't true for the most part of it. Like, yes, you guys can have moments of devotion together where you guys are studying the word together or praying together, but the most part of it, guys, there's nothing that is cute about prayer. There is nothing that is romantic about prayer. If anything, when you are actually praying with your spouse, it's not the type of prayer that you would actually do when you're alone. Because when you're alone and you're spending time in prayer with God, like, it's just a place of vulnerability. It's not a cute place. It's not a romantic place. There's just things that you would want to pour out to God in ways, and say things to God openly and honestly, enrollee without your spouse knowing about it. Like, there's some things that we truly do want to take to God that we don't want our spouse to know about, or we're not even really ready to open to our spouses about, or faults that we have in ourselves that really we need God to help us with. So those type of things, you can't truly communicate them openly while your spouse is holding you or cuddling you and all of those things. Like, those things, like, yeah, like, if you are a single and you're watching this video, please take notes. Like, just stop posting those pictures, because yeah, like, it really isn't it. Like, prayer is so personal, and that even when you do get married, you do not lose your individuality in terms of your prayer, how you approach God, how you talk to God, and how you fellowship with God. So yeah, that's one. That's a scam. Point number 5. Being in love is not an adequate foundation for a successful marriage. I mean, while you're dating, you do get a clue that you are not 24/7 feeling the feelings of love. You should not be running into marriage or thinking about marriage just primarily on the fact that there's a feeling that you have towards this person. Because in marriage, the work that you need to put in goes beyond the feeling of love. It takes commitment, it takes honesty, it takes trust. It requires a whole lot more than just the feeling of being in love, or the emotion of being in love. And yes, love is very important to have in a marriage, but that's all to say that love is beyond just a feeling. Love is beyond a feeling. Just the way sometimes you can be angry at someone, angry at your kid, your mother, your spouse, a friend, but that doesn't mean that you don't love them, right? Because love is more than just a feeling. So even when you aren't feeling the feelings of love at the moment, you still do what's required of you, and you still do the right things, because in order for you guys to build the marriage, it takes more than just the feeling of love. Well, that's it. Those were my 5 pointers on things that I wish that I knew before marriage. If you truly enjoyed this video, please make sure that you leave a comment down below. Perhaps it might have helped you, perhaps or could also help you in the future. Perhaps you're also married and there are things that actually surprised you and shocked you. Leave them down in the comment box down below. Thank you so much for your time, and see you on the next video.